There is only love.
Please join me in consciousness and just know this love. Just know that God is all there is, and God is love. God is peace. God is joy and bliss. And we are one with that Spirit. We are one with God. And I know right here and now that as this service begins, it does so in the most loving way. And I just allow the love to just radiate in, as, and through me, connected with each and every person here in this room. And I just allow and feel the peace and the beauty. I bask in this feeling. And I let go of any negativity, any doubt, any fear, and just embrace the truth. It's all good and it's all God. I'm so grateful for this philosophy. I'm so grateful for this spiritual center. Grateful for the musicians, the ushers, the tech people, our amazing spiritual director, and everyone here. And as I release my word into that wonderful, magnificent law of mind, I do so knowing all is well. I embrace it, I accept it, and together we affirm this by saying, so it is. So, there's an old saying that practice makes perfect. My mom used to remind me of that when she bugged me to practice my violin and piano. And I would grumble and fuss. I didn't want to do it. But of course, I got down to the business of practicing because I wanted to perfect my craft. I wanted to play well. Now, doing spiritual practices is not so different from practicing to gain expertise in playing an instrument or exercising to build a healthy body. Practice is about being consistent and earnest in pursuing a goal. Some of us here at the center are taking the Prosperity Plus course and listening to Mary Morrissey on Tuesday nights. What an amazing woman. And speaking of practicing, she really practices what she preaches. She has certainly had her share of challenges in life, from physical, life-threatening challenges to financial challenges to setbacks in her personal life. But even though she had those setbacks, she practiced the principles and she got right back on her feet again. Now I'm talking about a woman who really not only talks the talk, but walks the walk. Mary quotes Wallace D. Wattles quite a bit each week. I don't know if you've heard of him, but he wrote a little book called The Science of Getting Rich. And although the title suggests that we're talking about money and getting rich, I have found from reading this little book that it's all about living to the fullest. It's much more than getting rich. It's about getting the most out of life. It's basically about how to think. And we in this philosophy know how important our thoughts are. So as Mary Morrissey mentioned in the early weeks of her lectures, everything is created twice. First in thought, and then in manifestation. Wattles wrote that man can form things in his thought, and by impressing his thought upon formless substance, can cause the thing he thinks about to be created. Now this is Religious Science 101, and Wattles wrote this book in 1910. So doing spiritual practices to keep our thoughts out of negativity becomes extremely important when we really understand how our thoughts create our reality. Wattles goes on to say that there is no labor from which most people shrink as they do from that of sustained and consecutive thought. It is the hardest work in the world. This is especially true when truth is contrary to appearances. To think according to appearance is easy, but to think truth regardless of appearances is laborious and requires the expenditure of more power than any other work man is called upon to perform. Now, I have found this to be true on more than one occasion in my life. Believe me, it was much easier to practice the piano and violin than to practice my spiritual practices when things are not going well. But when I'm challenged with a condition that is contrary to the truth, I have to become even more vigilant and consistent in practicing and believing and knowing the truth. I have to focus my thoughts in a place where I want to be rather than where I currently find myself. So I am extremely happy to be studying with Mary Morrissey at this time because she reminds me every week of the importance of noticing my thoughts every day and endeavoring to stay at a good vibrational level. Mary says it is important that we are very careful of the thoughts we allow to stay in our minds. If we are focused on a problem and are impressed by the circumstances, our mind won't be able to overcome that problem. If we are focusing on solutions and results, then we open our mind to these solutions. So we have to pay attention to what we are thinking about. This takes practice. Meditating, reading, journaling, taking classes, they're all a part of practicing and building spiritual muscles. Namaste.
There is only